What's up, everyone? Today we're making
海鮮冬瓜羹
Winter Melon Seafood Soup. My name is Randy, and I'm a second-generation Chinese American. My dad's been a Chinese chef for over 50 years, and it's my mission to share and preserve my parents' recipes and stories, one meal at a time. Growing up in China, my parents didn't have much, but what they did have was lots and lots of winter melon, and a bunch of stories to go with it. Today, you'll get to learn all of their secrets for making this unique style of winter melon soup.
朋友們啦，今日同大家介紹一個呢，就係海鮮冬瓜羹，好簡單嘅啫，就係冬瓜、一啲海鮮、魚啊、蝦啊嗰啲喺肉，同埋韭黃呢、蛋白咁就好啦，冇咁複雜嗱。
If you're looking for a written version of this recipe, check out our blog post at madewithlau.com, where you'll find an adjustable list of ingredients and step-by-step videos to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
我首先呢，今日做係4至6個人嘅份量。 要俾磅半上下嘅冬瓜落去啦。我呢個冬瓜差唔多7磅重上下，我係俾磅半嘅，我就切咗佢先嚇。
應該用袋啊？
煎住佢不過斬品唔好佢邋遢啊嘛。好啦，呢度1磅半多少少，唔緊要啦。你發咗嗰啲囊出嚟啱我發。
你中間唔要啊？
嗰啲唔使啦，刨皮嘅先。首先刨咗冬瓜皮先嚇。 好，然之後咧洗乾淨，清晒嗰啲核出嚟嚇。嗱，我哋咧先將冬瓜切粒。
Two Patreon members and a bunch of other people asked if you're at a store, how do you pick these?
老啲嘅，少啲核嘅，佢切得一嚿嚿喺度咁已經。睇下佢皮係白色嘅，佢老啦。
I also wanted to make a special shout out to thank all of our wonderful Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to life. If you enjoy our videos and are interested in supporting us directly, head on over to patreon.com/madewithlau to learn more.
好，冬瓜就切好啦，係咪？我就用3安士嘅蝦就落去，冇蝦腸噶啦，冇殼嘅整好晒嘅喺度。呢隻翻嚟就好簡單做啦。嗱，首先咧，將啲蝦有啲切一粒。
If people don't like seafood, could they put a different type of meat?
Yeah. Chicken, cut in very tiny piece. That will be 冬瓜雞湯。
If you're vegetarian, are there other veggies that would be good in there?
蘑菇咯，
仲有冬菇。
Yeah, mushroom。嗰啲韭黃。
豆腐咯。
豆腐咯。
魚肉咧，我又係俾3個安士。嗱，呢條魚肉係半磅噶啦。 啲魚肉喺 COOKWARE 買嗰啲魚肉咧，你上次影過啦。
We'll also be using a few strips of imitation crab, cut into small pieces. If you want to get really fancy, you can also use real crab meat. Then we'll cut about 1 ounce of yellow chives, which are more tender, sweet, and lighter in taste than the more commonly known green chives. If you can't get yellow chives, green chives work fine as well.
好啦，嘢就基本上切好晒啦。而家咧仲俾啲生粉醃一醃，撈呢啲蝦同埋嗰啲魚肉先嚇，佢會軟滑啲，啲肉會滑啲嘅。
To each bowl, we'll marinate our fish and shrimp by adding 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, a half tablespoon of water, and a dash of white pepper. Mix each bowl around for a few seconds.
要幾耐啊？唔使幾耐，得㗎啦。你整好煮熟咗就擺落就得㗎啦。好啦，嘢就切好晒啦。
At this point, in a pot, we'll also start boiling 4 cups of water and about 7 ounces of chicken broth, which is about half the can my dad is using. Cover the pot and set the stove to high heat. While we wait, we'll prepare 3 egg whites in our cornstarch slurry with 5 tablespoons of cornstarch and 4 tablespoons of water. To separate the egg white from the yolk, my dad cracks the eggs, opens them from the top, and then carefully pours the yolk into the other side of the eggshell.
睇下，啲蛋白咪就落去啦，係嘛？睇到嘛？咁咪得咯，好容易啫。嗱，睇到啦，睇住，搣開佢，倒個蛋黃過嚟呢度。 係嘛？哇！嗰啲蛋白咪落去咯，係咪？嗱，呢啲蛋黃喺呢度咯，先，好容易啫，又快脆啫。因為等佢一滾就俾落去就好快脆得噶啦。呢個時候撈啲魚肉先嗬。 好啦，差唔多滾啦，倒埋個冬瓜落去先，俾落去就好多啦已經。冬瓜咁俾埋嗰啲海鮮啊嗰啲落去就好多噶啦嚇，好快啫，一滾就得噶啦。
We'll let the winter melon cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. While we wait, I thought I'd speak on the many health benefits of eating winter melon. Also formerly known as wax or ash gourd, winter melon is a magical fruit that my parents tell me to eat whenever I've come home with too many zits on my face. And it's also been used in traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. In Ayurveda, it's believed to be a great source of prana, or life energy. And in traditional Chinese medicine, donggua is believed to help flush the body of toxins and to bring balance to an excess of yeet hei, or internal heat. One of the key concepts in traditional Chinese philosophy and medicine is a harmony between yin and yang, or yum yang in Cantonese. On the one hand, yin, or yum, represents a cooling energy, femininity, and the moon, among many other things. On the other hand, yang, or yang, represents heat, masculinity, and the sun. Winter melon is believed to help restore a balance of yin energy. In recent years, modern research has started to validate some of these beliefs. Winter melon is high in antioxidants, and studies show that eating it may help prevent ulcers and reduce inflammation, which is believed to be the root cause of many diseases.
而家咧發嗰啲蛋白先嚇，發蛋白咧，再俾幾滴水落去，半個茶匙嘅水落去，咁發嗰啲蛋咧，佢就容易散啲嚇，容易散啲嚇，大力啲發嗰啲蛋白，好，得㗎啦，滾啦，得㗎啦已經。我哋而家咧打埋呢個芡先嚇，因為啲海鮮咧好容易熟㗎嘛，唔需要話咁快脆落去。我哋先埋個芡先嚇。
慢慢倒啊。
要慢慢啊，你快脆倒落咪成嚿嚿咯，咁先抹得個開啊嘛。慢慢咁快脆啲攪下邊攪嘅。如果你唔攪得快脆啲嘅咧，倒晒落去咧，佢咪有啲一嚿嚿唔得散嗱。我哋而家咧俾埋嗰啲海鮮落去先啊，魚肉嗱，蝦肉嗱，搞開佢，呢個湯好正嘅就係，呢個湯好飲。好啦，最尾咧就俾埋啲喺落啦，佢呢啲已經係熟噶啦嘛，佢已經係熟嘅，最尾俾落去唔怕嘅。好啦，嘢就俾齊啦，整佢幾大煲係嘛？俾埋啲嘢好大煲你已經。
We'll stir the seafood around and cover the pot. Let it cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until it's boiling again.
等佢滾先，咁啲蛋花先至靚啊！如果你唔滾咧，佢咪沉仔底落去咯滾啦！我哋落蛋白嘅時候咧，一邊咁攪住佢嚇，一邊攪住佢。
Slowly pour in the eggs over the course of 20 to 30 seconds, constantly stirring to help the eggs flour into soft whisks and strands.
哇，好靚！
Next, we'll add more flavor to the soup with 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. My dad says you can add whatever amount you like. We'll also add some white pepper to taste, as well as 1 teaspoon of olive oil and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil.
呢個麻油咧，麻油好緊要啊！麻油落去個香啊嘛，一個茶匙，OK， 想食啦嘛，想食啦，好試試個味道先，味，好啦，呢個湯就整好啦，倒筆咗先啦，筆金啲先啊，倒佢落去，聽到嗎？OK， 搞掂，俾埋啲韭黃上去，好啦，叫佢哋食啊。OK， 好，叫佢食海鮮冬瓜羹，搞掂咗啦，食得。我嚟炒呢個麵先。
Look at how cute and handsome you are.
You like that? That's how the restaurants do it. Swirl. Ooh, that's a good one.
Come on.
OK，
食飯。
食飯。
Cheers.
食飯。你食咩仔？
Really good. Uh-huh.
咩仔
？Cantonese make good soup. Yeah, and Cantonese is always have a soup on the table. Even when we go out and eat, then we always say, 我哋點一個湯咩湯？Beside all the dish, a lot of meat, a lot of veggie, but we ask for one soup. So Cantonese make a lot of soup, and also Very, very good soup too.
What was your first memory with this dish?
Oh. For me, when I see Dongkwa, memory my grandma. Yeah, I automatically my grandma is in my brain. When I was around 11 or 12 years old, that time was revolution in China, so we out of school for 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no school.
No school?
Yeah, no school.
What did you do?
So just stay home. And then I spent a lot of time in Toisan village with my grandma. My grandma, under the bed, almost the whole under the bed is Dongkwa. So every day I eat Dongkwa, but he doesn't have he was not put meat, put something in the Dongkwa. He just cut the Dongkwa and put some dry shrimp and sometimes put the Dai Tao Chong Choi. It is kind of salty vegetable, and then mix together, then cook. Tastes really good. So I just remember he every day cook Dongkwa for me, and then I use the soup to mix with the rice and eat. No meat, just eat like that.
最好咩？最好就紅豆啊！啲紅豆煲冬瓜最多㗎啦。啲鹹魚個頭咁樣 cut 到食嗰啲，俾個頭落個煲冬瓜。好細個我哋成日食冬瓜㗎啦，冬瓜就俾咩？你都真係咁多嘢整嘅咩？我話你仔啊，食冬瓜咧，我細個食冬瓜就最平㗎啦。最平食冬瓜啦，冇其他菜食嘅時候就攞冬瓜出嚟食啦。個冬瓜擺喺邊度啊？擺你我哋擺喺鄉下拜神嗰度咧，上邊頂嗰度咧，擺喺個樓梯爬上邊嗰度咧，擺啲冬瓜，買翻冬瓜擺喺嗰度咯，擺好耐㗎，擺幾個月㗎。
So you never got sick of Dongkwa even after you had it for 3 years?
No.
Wow. It's that good.
I love Dongkwa. I like soup. I like this way. I like a stew, chow. Like a stir fry, I like all of them. Man Dongkwa, you can choose meat or no meat, or like a dry mushroom.
你就咁俾你蝦米佢煲湯，你最中意嘅啦。
It's very easy to just cut the Dongkwa by piece and then boil the dry shrimp and put the Dongkwa inside. Because the dry shrimp made the soup taste good.
Yeah.
Quick Dongkwa tong.
Yeah.
Dongkwa is not.
Got it.
Baby.
Got it.
Mom reflexes.
Mommy reflex. Yours were 13 pounds, 7 pounds. Usually, how big are they in the market?
我有啲大有啲細。
Some big, some small.
Okay. Yeah.
Pick the 冬瓜，老冬瓜，要睇到個皮係白色。
平時買冬瓜佢已經
係啊，冇人買咁一個冬瓜咁多，因為煮唔晒啊。If you use your nail, it's easy to poke it in the skin. That is too young.
你同埋睇下佢嗱少啲中間嗰啲囊喺度。
Okay. Seeds?
啲囊係攞個冬瓜俾佢睇啊。How can I say that in?
Mama.
嗱，呢個冬瓜咪老咯，佢唔係實嘅就老啦。
實之前
即係可能冇空間嘅。
那個 no empty space. Young will be all together.
Yeah.
But if old, then you can see space between.
呢啲已經空咗啦嗱。
有空間係老。
有空間係老。
OK。
賣瓜最好就買近住呢個頂嗰度，佢擺喺一嚿嗰度啊嘛，買呢嚿。
係啊，近住呢嚿，近住個頂呢嚿。
近住個頂呢嚿。
It is the.
嗰啲厚啲嘅肉嘅。
It is a thick.
Dang, that's a good one.
Because in the store they cut in like one dongkwa, maybe cut in 4 or 6 pieces, right? So we always pick the piece,
The end piece.
the
Near the
stern.
stem.
For me, I always look for this area. It look like a kind of rough. Rough. If like a smooth and really green, then I don't pick. I put the rough one.
Yeah.
The rough one means pretty old. Yeah, pretty old.
Yeah.
點解出邊有白色嗰啲啊？
老咪白色咯。
It is old.
Oh, if it's young, you won't have that.
Young, you
係
don't
啊，
have.
秧就捐啦，
Yeah, young you don't have.
秧就捐啦。
You know why the name for this melon for Dongkwa is Dong means winter.
Yeah.
Since the Dongkwa it is white, just like a snow.
Ah,
That's why they call Dongkwa.
cool. I didn't know that.
So they
唔緊要，唔
keep-
使見到啊！我哋冬瓜得白色啲汁嘅。
they depend this 冬瓜 the harvest month was September.
Yeah.
And then we wait. We don't want to cut that. We wait to getting old. And then finally, the冬瓜 is getting a lot of white.
Yeah. It's like a little fuzzy. Banana white.
Put it here. Put it here.
La.
Yeah, this 冬瓜 is 13 pounds, 13 and a half pounds.
嗱，有啲毛毛喺度。
See, you can see the little hair is right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So that's why when I hold it, I use paper to like a block my
如
hair.
果你唔用手紋或者紙係咪？
篤手？
Yeah，篤手。
唔會，應該唔會嘅。
Should be not like a rose. The rose when you touch, yeah, will be poking you, but it is not poking inside, but still uncomfortable.
你種嗰陣時係咪戴手紋啊？
唔使，唔使，
嗰啲刺都係後期先出咗喎。
一出就有噶啦，啲骨仔有噶啦。
嗯。
佢出嗰啲刺咧，唔俾嗰啲老鼠嚟食佢嘅。
哦。
What?
Preventing the mouse.
Oh.
Yeah, come to eat it.
而且
咁你買翻嚟都有呢啲頭髮。
有啲有，有啲冇，有啲冬瓜有，有啲咪冬瓜冇。
有啲冬瓜冇㗎，有啲冬瓜有，但係我哋呢個有。Yeah. You just use the paper towel, wet the paper towel a little bit, then wipe it from top on the bottom.
And then how do you store it? A lot of people ask, how do you store it?
If you cut it, then require refrigerator. If you not cut it, so you just put it in the cool place, can last for a few months. 係咪Daddy？
我呢度放幾個月啦。
啲冬瓜先 September。
I know. You guys kept in the garage, right?
但係 market 買翻嚟切開，你唔可以擺咁耐。
3-4日一個禮拜得㗎。
一個星期啦，我諗。
A lot of other people asked, how do you cook it perfectly so it doesn't boil away
Or break apart.
melt?
唔好太熟，一滾水先擺落去，一滾就得㗎啦。
有第二啲湯係大塊。
大嚿冬瓜嗰啲煲耐啲㗎啦。冬瓜就唔擺好耐，但係嗰啲材料落個煲嗰啲煲得耐。
啊。
冬瓜就煲半個鐘頭就得㗎啦，係連皮煲㗎。
嗰啲就連皮煲，唔割咗啲皮佢。
唔得個皮嗰啲。
我講下咧 ，today 呢個係叫羹，
Yeah.
冬瓜羹。如果平時煲嗰啲連皮嗰啲咧，冬瓜湯。In American, they can translate to English. There's no difference. So the difference is the湯, the soup. It is thin soup and thick soup.
第二啲嗰個湯你唔加生粉啊？
唔加㗎，唔加生粉。
嗰啲湯唔使㗎啦，係咪？
Which one do you guys like better?
兩樣都中意。
Different
唔同嘅，唔同嘅。
different use。
你細路仔有冇食冬瓜？
冬瓜湯就食得多啦，冬瓜羹就未食過啦，仔。冬瓜湯就食得多啦。
哦呀，因為羹與蛋。
要好多嘢唔同啦。
羹咧細佬就係cooking time is shorter, but soup the cooking time is longer. 羹咧就係 the content of the water is less. Soup is much more water. Hello, all our dear fans, all our dear audience. Thank you again for enjoy this video today with us. And then Hong Do is very happy and drinking his milk. And thank you for your support. And give us a like, share, subscribe. See you next time. Hong Do, see you next time. Bye. Bye.